in South Beach on a night when the Kings were not able to get past the Miami Heat and allowed them to break their losing streak. The Kings just looked real lackadaisical and slow and weren't really into the game. You could tell the road trip is taking a toll on them at this point. Did you see that? Did you see Keegan Murray get a big 33 points on the night? In South Beach against the Miami Heat, the Sacramento Kings lose 106 to 115. The Sacramento Kings are now 27-19. The Miami Heat are 25-23. And the Sacramento Kings are currently in 5th place in the Western Conference, in a virtual tie with the Phoenix Suns, who are 28-20. And right above them, we have the Denver Nuggets in 4th place at 33-16. The Minnesota Timberwolves are still at 1st place, 34-14. Today is February 1st, 2024. I want to say thank you for joining me. And what's going on, YouTube? What's going on to all my folks and all you Kings fans out there? It's your guy, Jay Woods, aka Shy the Man, and I'm back at you with another episode of the Kings Morning After, Midday Cup of Joe with Jay.
I love it.
Today is Throwback Thursday.
Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I was a kid again.
Throwback Thursday. Cup of Joe's a little warm. Probably need to reheat it at this point. My cup of Joe for today is the Kings just look like the road trip is just kind of taking a little bit of a toll on them at this point. They're looking a little tired. Keegan Murray had a decent night, and Domantas Sabonis was out there playing hard. The rest of the guys were a little bit off. Nobody could really hit shots, and they just kind of looked like they were on the road. They just never at a point did it seem like they were going to be able to take over this game. They did go on a little mini run in the third, but it wasn't enough. That's my cup of Joe. 1 creamer, no sugar. Some stats real quick. The Miami Heat's leading scorer was their leader, Jimmy Butler, with 31. Second leading scorer was actually Josh Richardson off the bench with 24. Bam Adebayo had 16. Tyler Hero, 14. Terry Rozier in the starting lineup had 10 assists, only 3 points. He was contributing with assists, and Bam Adebayo had a big 11 rebounds on the night. And for the Kings, Keegan Murray was the leading scorer with 33 points. Domantas Sabonis had 19 on the night. Kevin Huerter, 14. De'Aaron Fox pitched in with 13. Off the bench, we couldn't really get too much scoring. Malik Monk had 6. Guys off the bench didn't really give the team much of a push. Did I mention Domantas Sabonis with another triple-double on the night? 17 rebounds, 13 assists for Domantas Sabonis. Good job out there, Domantas Sabonis. Captain Sabonis, as I call him. 17 rebounds. Nobody else really pitched in on the rebounds. 5 for Harrison, 5 for Keegan, which helps, but Domantas Sabonis out there controlling the board with 17. 13 assists. Nobody came close. The closest person was Kevin Huerter with 4 assists, so Domantas Sabonis just out there putting in work, whether he's at home or on the road. Domantas Sabonis, Captain Sabonis, putting in work. Kings struggled a little bit from free throws, 66%. Heat at about 78%. Kings also struggled a little bit from 3-point with 30%. Heat with 46. Keegan Murray actually hit most of the Kings' 3-pointers. He had 7 out of the 12 3-pointers that they hit. Keegan Murray had a decent day at 3-point line. The rest of the Kings did not. Also, the Heat had 38 assists, the Kings 26. The rest of the stats were pretty much even. Eye test. Yeah, I test. I test. I test. I test. My eye test for the day, I spoke about a little bit earlier with just the slow play, poor shooting by the Kings. Just never really looked like they would have enough offense to overtake the Heat at any point. And they just weren't really getting stops. I mean, they did a little bit of a run in the third. It just wasn't enough. And the Kings, I mean, at this point, they could probably use a little bit of home cooking, but this is one of their longest road trips of the year. And they do have 3 more games left on this road trip. So Kings need to go home to the hotel, get some good rest, and be prepared for these next few road games coming up. Because if tonight was any clue on how they're going to play in these next few games, it's not looking too good. De'Aaron Fox just couldn't get it going last night. And our dog, Malik Monk, he usually is a big scorer for us off of the bench. And he just couldn't get it going last night either. That's my eye test. Bottom line, the Kings morning after. Bottom line. Today's bottom line is the Kings are going to this road trip is a big test for them, and this is a way that they can kind of compare themselves to how the guys on the East Coast are playing and in the Eastern Conference are playing. When just looking at the games, the Eastern Conference teams just seem to have more defense. They play more of a half court cutting game, as opposed to a fast breaking, quick game like the Kings tend to play. And the Kings always seem to have a hard time in Miami anyway. They haven't beat the Miami Heat in Miami in about 5 games for some years now. So the Heat always play the Kings well when they're at home. And I'm not going to just blame it on that, but the Kings just have to come out with more force. And if their shots aren't hitting, the 3-pointers aren't hitting, they need to do other things. They need to drive to the basket. They need to go into the post. They need to use the 2-man game with pocket pass screens and pocket passes, mid-range game. You know, they're just going to have to try other things when the 3-pointers aren't hitting. They can't just stand at the 3-point line and just shoot threes all game. That's my bottom line. Next up, the Kings are facing off against the Indiana Pacers in Indiana Friday, February 2nd, 4:30 p.m. Pacific time. The Indiana Pacers are led by Tyrese Halliburton, who is actually currently injured, had a hamstring injury, and he's trying to work his way back into shape again. And they also recently traded for Pascal Siakam, who has been leading them while Tyrese Halliburton has been out. They also have Miles Turner, Obi Toppin, Benedict Mathurin, Buddy Hield. They're a young upcoming team, and it's one of those teams that the Kings have a hard time facing off against, these young, long, athletic teams. So, and on the road at that. So the Kings are going to have to go out to Indiana, and they're going to have to show the young guys, you know, we're the playoff team. We're the team that's made it to the playoffs last year, and we're the better team. They're going to have to go out there and play defense. They're going to have to make sure if Tyrese is in the game that he's not going crazy from 3 or doing too much driving into the basket. He uses the 2-man game well. Watch out for lobs. Now that he has Pascal Siakam, they have a really good 2-man game and a definite lob threat in Pascal Siakam and in Obi Toppin and Miles Turner. Buddy Hield, ex-King, he just can't let him get too hot. Can't let him go crazy from 3. Benedict Mathurin, he drives to the hole. He's a slasher. Can't let him get too many easy baskets or and ones at the basket. And just show this young team, that we are the better team. Stay in front of guys, put your chest on guys when necessary. And, if you have to, foul a guy. Betting lines, there's no betting line for this Kings versus Pacers game yet because the game is tomorrow on Friday. But if you want to do sports bets, use Bet US. It's what I use to do my sports betting. They have a great sports book on there. And they'll even give you some extra money when you deposit money. Use the link below. It'll help out the channel. Thanks. I have a question for you guys. Are you guys worried about the Kings on this long road trip? They still have 3 more games. Do you think that they're gonna putter out? They're 3-1 on the road trip so far, which is great to me. But how do you feel about the rest of these games coming up? Comments below. And I got a couple comments recently. I appreciate you guys making the comments. I'll post the comments up here, and I really appreciate it, you guys, for making comments on the channel. It helps out the channel. And also, if you want to make a comment below. Comment on how I'm doing, comment on the Kings, comment on the weather, comment on the question that I asked, comment on anything, I don't care. Also, please like this channel or like this video and subscribe to this channel, and also share the content. Why not? It'll help me out. Also, make a comment. Like, subscribe, share, and comment. I appreciate it. All right, I got a motivational quote for you today. Found it online. I love it. And it goes like this. Well done is better than well said. And that's by Benjamin Franklin. Well done is better than well said. And that's pretty much all that I have for you guys for today. I really appreciate you joining me. I appreciate it if you watched this far. And I want to say thank you for joining me on another episode of The King's Morning After, Midday Cup of Joe with Jay. Need to reheat my Joe. But anyway, that's all I have. I'm out. But before you go, watch these moves. It's good.